Hello, Dr. Joe here. Now, it's no secret that certain foods have the power to recalibrate your risk of developing cancers, and that includes breast cancer too. So, what I'm going to be doing in this very video is I'm going to be sharing with you 4 pink foods that have the potential to lower your risk of developing breast cancer. Now, there is no pink washing involved in this very video. These are foods that you're going to love. There are 4 pink foods. And as usual, I'm going to be sharing the science. I'm going to explore the science and the mechanism involved in how these foods help you to lower your risk of developing breast cancer. How about we get started? Okay, so 4 pink foods for breast cancer prevention. Let's dive straight in. The first one is red cabbage. Red cabbage, as you can see there, red cabbage is a crucifer. It is a cruciferous vegetable that is rich in a compound called indole-3-carbinol, I3C for short. Now, this indole-3-carbinol is an anthocyanin. And you may want to ask the question, how does indole-3-carbinol help in breast cancer prevention? Let's have a look at that because there are 2 possible mechanisms. And the first one is that indole-3-carbinol helps in the breakdown of estrogen to less harmful metabolites, okay? And of course, we then excrete the less harmful metabolites out of the body. So what does this mean? The thing is that when you have lots of estrogen circulating in the body, that's going to stimulate the growth of breast tissue, okay? To stimulate the growth of breast tissue. And when cells divide uncontrollably, that is the bedrock of cancer. So when you reduce the level of estrogen circulating in the body, break down these estrogens to less harmful metabolites, you will be reducing your risk of developing breast cancer. So that's mechanism number 1. Mechanism number 2 is that indole-3-carbinol helps in the riddance of abnormal cells. So when cells divide, you are inevitably going to have abnormal cells. And these abnormal cells ideally should be taken care of. They should be mopped up. That process is called apoptosis. And indole-3-carbinol helps to promote this process of apoptosis, getting rid of the abnormal cells. That way, they don't become established and progress to cancer. So that is the second mechanism through which indole-3-carbinol that you get from red cabbage helps in the prevention of breast cancer. And also, in case you're wondering if there's any science to support that, well, here is a review article that was published in the British Journal of Pharmacology with the title, Effects of Anthocyanins on the Prevention and Treatment of Cancer. Now, this review article talks about anthocyanins, the effect of anthocyanins on lots of cancers, inclusive of breast cancer. So if you want to have a read of this article, I'm going to leave links down below. So that is how the indole-3-carbinol, which is an anthocyanin from red cabbage, helps us to reduce our risk of breast cancer. So that's pink food number 1. Let's progress to pink food number 2 for the prevention of breast cancer, and that will be radish. Okay, radish, as you can see there. Radishes do contain glucosinolates, which eventually get broken down to a very nice compound called sulforaphane. Okay, sulforaphane, a very nice antioxidant. Now, in case you're wondering, what's the business of sulforaphane with breast cancer reduction? Well, here is an article that was published in Phytomedicine Journal with the title, Sulforaphane, an isothiocyanate present in radish plants, inhibits proliferation of human breast cancer cells. So this article talks about the positive impact of the sulforaphane from radish plants on breast cancer cells. In this very study, their conclusion was that sulforaphane exhibits cytotoxic activity against breast cancer cells, even at relatively low concentrations. Cytotoxic means, killing of abnormal cells. Anything that is cytotoxic, usually will take care of the abnormal cells, killing them off, and that can only be a good thing. So that's pink food number 2 that helps in breast cancer prevention. Let's move on to pink food number 3, and that would be beetroot. Okay, beetroot. And what's the deal with beetroot? Well, beetroot contains beta-lanes. And how do beta-lanes in beetroot help in breast cancer prevention? Well, 3 possible mechanisms. The first one is that beta-lanes from the beetroot decrease cell proliferation. Now, like I said before, the bedrock of breast cancer development is that cells divide uncontrollably. Now, if you have something that slows down this very process, decreases that very process, then you are on to a winning streak. So beta-lanes helps us to do that. They decrease cell division, so cells don't divide uncontrollably. So that's mechanism number 1. Mechanism number 2 is that the beta-lanes from beetroot decrease the formation and growth of new blood vessels. This process is called angiogenesis because cancer cells are hungry. You know, they are very greedy. And because they're greedy, they encourage the growth of new blood vessels. That way they get a rich supply of nutrients and oxygen for them to proliferate, for them to grow. And that process of angiogenesis is reduced by beta-lanes from beetroot. So that's another good thing. You know, it's a very nice mechanism. So that's mechanism number 2. Mechanism number 3 is that beta-lanes from the beetroot helps to facilitate the production of immune cells and enzymes that help fight cancer. Like I said before, when cells divide, you're going to have abnormal cells. And normally this process is taken care of by our immune cells. And indeed, modern medicine uses this mechanism. It's called immunotherapy. So here we have a situation where the beta-lanes in beetroot will facilitate the production of these immune cells, which in a way is immunotherapy, natural immunotherapy, if you like. So that is pink food number 3 that helps in the prevention of breast cancer. Let's move on to pink food number 4, and that will be pomegranates. Okay, pomegranates. And what's the compound in pomegranates that helps in breast cancer prevention? Well, it is elagitanins. Okay, elagitanins. That's the bioactive compound in pomegranates that helps in breast cancer prevention. And how does it do that? Well, it does that by blocking the enzyme activity of aromatase. So what's the source of estrogens in your body? Well, it comes from 3 sources. The first one is the ovaries, the second source is the adrenal glands, and the third source is the fat tissue. And you know, you have more production in the ovaries and the adrenal glands, but you still have a good amount of production from the fat tissue. And in the fat tissue, the source of the estrogen is the male hormone called testosterone. This testosterone, which women also have, is converted to estrogens by the enzyme called aromatase. And of course, the more aromatase activity you have, the more estrogens that is made from the testosterone. And here we have in our pomegranate elagitanins blocking this aromatase activity, so less estrogens is made from the testosterone. That way, you reduce estrogen levels, which will also reduce your risk of developing breast cancer. Now, is there any science behind this? Well, here is a study that was published in Cancer Prevention Research Journal with the title, Pomegranate Elagitanine-Derived Compounds Exhibit Anti-Proliferative and Anti-Aromatase Activity in Breast Cancer Cells in Vitro. Now, I'm going to leave links below if you want to have a read of this very study. And what was the conclusion from this very study? We're not going to go through all of it. Well, it was that the pomegranate elagitanins derived compounds have potential for the prevention of estrogen responsive breast cancers. What a nice benefit to have from a simple food like pomegranate. Okay, so there you go. Those are 4 lovely foods that will help you lower your risk of developing breast cancer. All you need to do is consume those lovely pink foods as often as possible. And you need to add some other lifestyle measures like smoking cessation, reducing your alcohol consumption, being physically active, and you'll be well on your way to reducing your risk of developing breast cancer. So please do let me know in the comment section below if you love any of those foods, which one you love the best, which one you've been consuming often, and which ones you're going to be adding to your menu. Do let me know in the comment section. And I'm hoping that you got some value from this very video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Please like the video, and also please share this video with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. If you got any questions, any comments, please leave them down below. I think that's it for this very video. Until next time, well, this is Dr. Joe signing out.